Today, we're doing something a little different during our cruise stop in Ensenada, Mexico. We were sailing aboard Quantum of the Seas on one of Royal Caribbean's really popular short 3-night cruises out of Los Angeles, a sailing we've actually done quite a few times. These shorter West Coast cruises are incredibly common through casino offers, especially because they're quick getaways that are easy to fit into a busy schedule. And honestly, after visiting Ensenada multiple times over the years, we've kind of reached the point where sometimes we don't even get off the ship anymore. We've done excursions like La Bufadora, and while it's definitely worth seeing once, we really wanted to try something different this time around. And that's what led us to one of the most surprising things about Ensenada that a lot of cruise passengers don't really realize exists: wine country. Just outside of the city is the Valle de Guadalupe region, which has actually become one of the premier wine destinations in Mexico. The Mediterranean-like climate, ocean influence, and fertile valleys have helped the region explode in popularity over the last couple of decades, and today it's home to dozens of wineries, boutique hotels, restaurants, and vineyards. So, for this excursion, we left downtown Ensenada behind and headed out into the vineyards to experience a completely different side of Mexico than what most cruise passengers typically see. Our first winery stop was Cheto, one of the most well-known and historic wineries in the region, followed by La Casa de Doña Lupe, which had a much smaller and more intimate atmosphere. And honestly, this ended up being one of the most unexpectedly enjoyable excursions we've done out of Ensenada. First stop in the Valle de Guadalupe wine region was Cheto Winery, which is actually one of the largest and most well-known wineries in all of Mexico. They produce millions of bottles of wine every year and help put Baja California wine country on the map internationally. What made this stop really interesting was that this wasn't just a quick tasting at a counter. Our group was actually taken behind the main showroom into the production areas where they process, age, and store the wine. We got to walk through sections of the massive fermentation tanks and barrel storage areas while learning a little bit more about how wines are made here in the valley. And after the tasting, we had time to browse the showroom and purchase wines to bring home. They even included a complimentary small bottle of wine as part of the excursion, which was a really nice touch. Considering that this 4-hour excursion only cost about $40 or so per person when we booked in advance, this honestly ended up being one of the best values we've found in Ensenada. Our second winery stop was the Casa of Doña Lupe, which had a much more relaxed and laid-back atmosphere compared to the first winery. This place is known more for its fruit wines and its homemade style drinks, which honestly aren't my personal favorite, but I still really enjoyed trying them. The sangria here was absolutely delicious, super fresh, refreshing, and probably the highlight of this stop for me. One thing to know is while we could bring the bottled wines from the first place back on the ship, we couldn't bring the sangria because it was made fresh with fruit ingredients on site. They also had really good tacos here, although the line definitely started building up quickly once groups arrived. So honestly, one tip I'd give is when you first get there, go get your tickets for the wine flight and sangria tasting, but don't rush straight to pick up all the drinks first. I would actually recommend getting in line for the tacos immediately. Let them start preparing your order, since the food service moved a little slower and your time here is limited as part of the excursion. One thing we really loved about this place, it was just the atmosphere of the property. After the wine tasting and food, there was this really beautiful outdoor area filled with flowers, gardens, and open seating that made the whole place feel incredibly relaxed and welcoming. They also had live music playing while we were there, and honestly, the singer was really good. It added such a fun and laid-back vibe to the afternoon and made the whole winery feel more like a local gathering place than just a tourist stop. Overall, this excursion honestly surprised us in the best way possible. Between the scenic drive through wine country, the winery tours, the tasting, the food, the atmosphere, and everything that was included for the price, this ended up being one of the best values we found cruising out of Los Angeles and to Ensenada in particular. So if you've been here before and you're looking for something different to do besides the usual tourist stops or just walking around downtown, we'd absolutely recommend giving this wine country excursion a try.